Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to dive deep into a tool that sits at the intersection of psychology and cybersecurity. We are talking about CUPP, or the Common User Passwords Profiler, specifically how it is used within the Kali Linux environment. Now, before we open a terminal or look at a single line of code, we need to have a serious conversation about the context of this tool. Everything we discuss today is strictly for educational purposes, legal penetration tests where you have explicit permission, or forensic crime investigations. Understanding how these tools work is the only way to build better defenses against them. So, let's talk about the problem: authentication. It is the gatekeeper of our digital lives. The most common form of this is the classic username and password combination. It sounds simple. You have a secret, the system has a stored value, and if they match, you get in. But here's where human nature works against security. A truly strong password, one that is mathematically difficult to guess, is usually a long string of random alphanumeric characters and symbols. The problem is that humans are terrible at remembering random strings of data. Because we struggle to remember complex random strings, we take shortcuts. We rely on what is familiar. We build passwords based on our lives. We use birthdays, nicknames, the name of our first pet, our street address, or even common words like love, money, or just the word password itself. We might think we're being clever by adding a 123 at the end or capitalizing the first letter, but to a computer, those patterns are incredibly predictable. This brings us to the concept of password strength. It isn't just about how long a password is, it's about entropy, or the difficulty involved in guessing it. A weak password isn't just a short one. A weak password is a predictable one. And this is exactly where CUPP shines. In a typical brute force attack, a hacker might try every possible combination of characters. That takes forever. In a standard dictionary attack, they might use a list of the 10 million most common passwords. But what if the target isn't using a common password like 123456? What if they're using their daughter's name combined with her birth year? A generic word list will fail to crack that, but a targeted word list won't. CUPP was born to automate these targeted word lists. It's a tool designed to profile a specific user. It takes information that is often publicly available, things you might find on social media or in a discarded document, and uses an algorithm to generate a massive list of probable passwords based on that specific person's life. Let's get into the technical side. To run CUPP, you need Python 3 installed on your system. If you are using Kali Linux, this is generally there by default, but it's always good to check. The tool itself is a Python script, usually named cupp.py. When you first open the tool, the most effective and common way to use it is the interactive mode. You trigger this by running the command python3 cupp.py-i. The I stands for interactive. This is where the profiling happens. Imagine you are a penetration tester hired to audit the security of a company. You have identified a specific account you need to test. You don't just start guessing random words, you do your reconnaissance. You find out the target's name, maybe their surname, you might know their nickname or their birth date. When you run the interactive mode, CUPP acts like an interviewer. It asks you to input the target's first name, surname, and nickname. Then it asks for birthdays, day, month, and year. But it doesn't stop there. It digs deeper into the human element. It asks for partners' names, partners' nicknames, and their birthdays. It asks for children's names, children's nicknames, and their birthdays. It even asks for the name of a pet or a company name. Why does it ask for all of this? Because people are sentimental. A father might not use his own birthday as a password, but he might very well use his daughter's birthday. A database administrator might use the company name followed by the current year. Once you have input all this data, CUPP asks if you want to add keywords. These could be specific things related to the target's hobbies. For example, if you know the target is obsessed with football, you might add the name of their favorite team. Then it asks if you want to add special characters or random numbers at the end of these words. It asks if you want to use LEET mode, which substitutes letters for numbers, like turning an E into a 3. After you answer these questions, CUPP goes to work. It doesn't just list the words you typed, it permutes them. It combines the daughter's name with the pet's name. It combines the surname with the birth year. It reverses the nickname and adds the company name. It generates thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of variations based solely on that one individual's profile. This creates a word list that is highly specific to that one individual. This is far more dangerous and far more effective than a generic list you download from the internet. However, CUPP isn't just a one-trick pony. It has other functions that are useful for security researchers. If we look at the help menu by typing python3 cupp.py-h, we see a few other interesting flags. There's the -w option. This allows you to improve an existing dictionary. Let's say you already have a word list, but you want to expand it or apply some of CUPP's profiling logic to it. You can use this option to take a static list and pawn-souse it, as the tool jokingly puts it, making it more robust. Then there's the -l option. This stands for download. Sometimes you do need those massive generic repositories. This option allows you to download huge word lists directly from the repository. This is useful if you want to combine a targeted attack with a general dictionary attack, covering all your bases. Another fascinating option is the -a command. This is used to parse default usernames and passwords from the Electo database. For those who don't know, Project Electo uses purified databases from other projects like Phenolith and CIRT. These are merged and enhanced to give you a database of default credentials. It's incredibly useful for IoT devices or routers where users often forget to change the factory settings. It's a different kind of profiling the hardware rather than the human. And of course, there's -v, which simply checks the version of the program to ensure you're running the latest build. Now, having understood how this works, we have to talk about the defense. How do you protect yourself against a tool like CUPP? The answer lies in breaking the connection between your password and your identity. If you are using your dog's name, your birthday, or your street address, CUPP will catch you. It's designed to think like you. It knows you want to be able to remember your password, and it exploits that convenience. The only way to truly defeat a profiler is to remove the human element from password creation entirely. You should be using a password manager. A password manager generates long, random strings of characters that have absolutely no correlation to your life, your hobbies, or your family. If your password is a random string of 20 characters including symbols and numbers, no amount of profiling about your favorite sports team or your pet's name will help an attacker generate that string. Furthermore, implementing multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is critical. Even if a tool like CUPP successfully guesses a password because a user was careless, MFA acts as a second barrier that the word list cannot cross. In the world of ethical hacking and forensics, CUPP is a reminder of the human vulnerability in cybersecurity. It teaches us that the strongest encryption algorithms in the world can be bypassed if the key to that encryption is FIDO123. For forensic investigators, this tool is invaluable. When trying to access encrypted evidence on a suspect's computer, they often build a profile of the suspect. They look at the suspect's life, their notes, and their history to build a CUPP word list, hoping to crack the encryption legally to solve a case. So, to recap, CUPP is a Python-based tool on Kali Linux that automates the generation of custom password lists based on a user's profile. It uses the interactive mode to gather personal details and permutes them into thousands of probable combinations. It effectively weaponizes the human tendency to use familiar terms for authentication. As you continue your journey in ethical hacking, remember that tools like this are not just about typing commands, they are about understanding the mindset of the user you are testing. Use this knowledge to write better reports, to educate your clients, and to secure your own digital footprint. That's going to be it for this deep dive into the Common User Passwords Profiler. Stay safe, keep learning, and remember to always keep your systems secure. I will see you in the next one.